Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. If you're new here, then welcome, hello, it's nice to see you, and if you're not new here, then welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This video is all about my dividend income for July 2020. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. So dividend income is a passive income source that I am building. It all links into our early retirement dream. I'll leave a link below to that video, plus how I am building a £1,000 a month dividend income stream. Have a watch of those after this and you'll see where this all links in. Today's video will show you that I am so far from that £1,000 a month income. Like, it's ridiculous when I talk about it, because the numbers that I get are so low in comparison. But dividend income, the passive income stream of that, is a slow and steady race. Unless you have like thousands of pounds to invest every month, dividend income is a slow game. Now, we generally invest £700 a month. If you watch my budget with me videos, I'll leave the latest one below, you'll know that that's the aim every month for that, and that's what that goes towards. It goes towards buying investments that create that dividend income. So the dividend income for July, and I'm back with my trusty notebook. I've had a couple of comments and people saying that it's nice that I just use pen and paper for this. The only reason why I do this is I have like a spreadsheet and a tracker on my computer. I need to work a way of recording that so I can show you just how I track my monthly dividends and how that works a bit better. But for now, I'm just here with my pen and paper. So yes, so dividend income this year has been much less than the previous year, and that's just because of the current circumstances. That is hopefully going to be just a minor setback in terms of building this dividend income stream. I have had a lot of either dividend cuts or like just not paid at all, or they've said that they're not going to pay it for this year but it'll be back next year. So I'm hoping for the majority of my holdings that are in individual companies, the majority of them will go back to paying dividends in the next year or so. And if they don't, then I will kind of rethink my strategy in terms of buy and hold, and maybe kind of sell and reinvest them in things that are paying dividends, because my whole investment strategy is to invest in dividend income paying stocks and funds. So today, this is about the income I've received in July, and it is from two different holdings. Last year there were 4 that paid out, this year there were only 2. Obviously that has a bit of a knock-on effect into what I receive as dividend income. So the first one is one of my favourite holdings. It is GlaxoSmithKline. It is a pharmaceutical company. They pay out 4 times a year, so in terms of dividend income it's fairly, it's consistent, but B, it's quite a nice number, and I am looking at some point to increase my holding in this company, but for now it stays the same. They've paid me £25 and 65 pence. So they pay that 3 times a year is that much, and then the 4th one is slightly more. So in terms of a dividend paying stock, it's quite good. It's, I think, the only one I have that pays quarterly. Most of the ones I have either pay once or twice, so that's quite a good one to have in my portfolio to build that dividend income stream. Yeah, it's not a lot. That wouldn't pay for any of our fixed bills by itself, but there we go. And then the final one, because there's only 2 that paid out in July, is Pets at Home. And they paid out £15. Exactly, so they're the 2 dividend income stocks that I had that pay out in July. Like I said, last year there was 4, but one of them this year paid out in June, and then the other one has cut their dividend. So that's what that looks like. So the total for July, bearing in mind I keep talking about building this £1,000 a month dividend income stream, you can see from these numbers that I am so far from that point. It almost seems a bit daft to be talking about building that income stream when I'm so far. But compounding should take effect eventually as well. So the effect of building and waiting and reinvesting, you know, in 15 years time should have played quite an important part in our journey. So we'll see. So the total for July is £40 and 65 pence. Now, when I talk about income and dividend income, I like to talk about it in relation to paying some of our fixed expenses. So £40.65 would pay for both of our mobile phone bills, for example, or nearly anyway, not quite, but it would pay for almost that, or it could pay for almost all of our water bill. So I like to think of the dividend income in terms of paying a monthly bill with this passive income. Passive income is something that you don't have to work for. I don't need to do anything other than hold the stocks in these companies and it just arrives. Now at the moment, although I talk about it paying a bill, all of this dividend income is left in my account and I reinvest it where I choose to. I don't use the dividend reinvestment program. It costs money to do that on the platform that I use for investments, but also I like to reinvest it into different things. So I like to reinvest it into, I don't know, other funds. So this one, for example, I wouldn't put £25 back into GlaxoSmithKline, for example, because that wouldn't get me very much. It would cost quite a lot. And I like to kind of add it to my savings sum and then reinvest it elsewhere. So although I talk about the fixed expenses, that is the aim for early retirement, that our passive income will pay for our fixed expenses. That's when the ball kind of rolls in our favour, the balance tips, so we don't have to work for income because our passive income will pay for those fixed expenses. That's the aim anyway. And then so the 2020 total so far is £411.71. Now my aim for the year for 2020 was a £1,600 in dividend income received, and when I made that aim at the start of the year, I'd done a calculation that kind of projected that I would be near that mark, like if everything continued in the way it was doing. However, it now hasn't gone that way at all. And so I now know, as you can see from this, I'm nowhere near the £1,600 mark, so far from it. And I also know that going forward, there is no way, unless I suddenly happen to have thousands of pounds to invest, which let me tell you is not going to happen. I'm not going to hit that game. I'm going to be quite a far way off that aim in the end. In fact, I don't think I'll even reach the amount I earned in 2019 for dividends. But like I said, hopefully that means that in the next couple of years or so, I will then reap the rewards of that. I've continued my strategy. I've continued to buy and hold as I would have done if circumstances were normal, so to speak. And in that sense, because I'm buying and holding and not panicking quite yet, obviously if these dividend cuts are continued, then it does start to change what my strategy is, and I do have to think about maybe changing things. But at the moment I'm still just holding all of my different stocks and funds. I've only sold one, and that was because the fees for that were quite high in comparison, not because it wasn't doing well or it didn't pay any dividends, but I sold that and reinvested that into a lower fee fund instead, which was a personal decision. But in terms of just going with the plan, I am continuing. So when you talk about people and investing, it says like you need to do it without the emotion, and that's all very well and said and done unless you're in a time at the moment where things are so uncertain. I'm reading different investing blogs. Lots of people are assuming that there is going to be a second wave, and obviously things like that do impact the stock market and do impact the prices of things. So it all just needs to be thought about a bit more, and I do keep an eye on the news, the stock market, like business news. I also keep an eye on the individual companies that I hold. I also keep an eye on their news particularly, because obviously the news about the holdings that I actually have is more important than say general business news, because I already own these. So I need to keep an eye on what GlaxoSmithKline are doing. I need to keep an eye on whether Pets at Home is still doing okay, even though the current climate, to be honest, they seem to be doing alright at the moment. Considering that loads of places are shut and things, they're doing okay. But it's keeping an eye on things, and although it is passive income, yes it is, I'm not actively having to work to get that money. It is a good idea if you are investing to just keep an eye on what's happening in that company. Does their balance sheet look okay? Is there anything that's being flagged up that makes you feel like maybe things aren't going in the right direction? It is important to keep an eye on that. That is my dividend income for July 2020. Like I said, it's a bit less than I would have liked. It's definitely less than last year, and it's so far from the £1,000 a month. However, that £1,000 a month is an aim to reach by like another 15 years or so. So I've got plenty of time to reach that. Do you have any dividend investments? Do you have any dividend income that you can share? Let me know down in the comments. I love to hear about people's dividend income and their investment journey. Let's share it together. Let's celebrate our little wins, because that's important along the way. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.